Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Meta Reports. I'm back with Liam Trousers Canning again, and we're joined by
It's me.
RTN winner James Adams this week. Hello, James. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been a good week. It's been a good weekend.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And how are you, Liam?
Better for some than others, Liam.
Great. Weather's been much better. It's important to talk about the weather, as is the classic British idiom. I think, at least for a few of the events, it was a bit icy around, I think Living Realms, which is the one I went to.
We'll talk about Birmingham later, and Birmingham was a very random one. I managed to trip up on the way to the event, which was great. But
good thing you weren't playing. Yeah.
And I was not playing. I was judging, which then less of a worry. But anyway, right, let's start. Well, I thought we'd start with the week one results. So we obviously saw that Gravy Bones and Mario and Kasai took the top 3 slots, and we were talking about how we felt about going into the next few weeks and how maybe the meta might change from decks like Fang and Florian maybe taking up more of the top slot rather than any other slots. Did you notice anything changing at the local RTNs or anything like that?
I mean, personally, yeah, I found that there was basically no Gravy Bones, which is about what we expected when we were speaking about it last week. In a similar sense, it's fine that, I mean, like we were saying, there's not really like much of a necessary meta when you consider the kind of like local scenes, because people kind of just play what they like, which you'll definitely see in some of these events. But I think the general consensus was that Gravy was on a downtrend, and we had a kind of an uptick in the more aggressive decks. Earth in the UK, at least, wasn't quite as prevalent as it might be in the more international events, like the calling that we have had this weekend. Yep. But we've kind of seen a lot more of kind of the other decks that are trying to prey on those like top 4 decks. A lot of people playing those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely. I think to piggyback on that point, like Gravy, to run Gravy, you have to have a real good reason to run Gravy. I think you need to be a bit of a specialist. So it's a bit almost like like a Prism angle. Like it's still being played, but only by people that really love the hero at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
if Prism wasn't like an anime waifu, and then now obviously the stocks on that just go to the ground. So it makes a lot of sense why people would just be like, no, not for me.
Yeah, and I think you alluded to it well. Yeah, we had one calling this weekend, which I thought was quite good to look at. We saw nearly 300 players, which I think is really good to see how the game is growing in Japan. And I think it's just so important to highlight that the top represented deck had 25 players, less than 10%. I think we're finding that currently in the meta, no one's consensus is on this top deck or top 2 decks. Got such a flat meta, which I think hasn't happened. And it's very much bring the deck that you think is good and you know how to play. You know how to play the 20 different matchups that are currently in CC, and if you can play them well, you're going to do well and you're going to convert well, which is kind of seen in the conversion rates here. Nearly every deck is converting around the same amount. We've got the outliers of Florian at 37%. And kind of Kasai doing well as 5%. Generally, all at about 20%.
Yeah, I mean, like you just look at the play rates of all of the top 8 decks there. They're all so close within one another, which is has been kind of unprecedented going into the previous pre-ban meta, and then you got to see how that necessarily translates into the conversion with Florian coming on top, even though it was I'd say it was one of the least represented of the big ones, but still quite a healthy conversion compared to how it was previously. I mean, that kind of definitely echoes our point that we were coming across last week as well, where you see this kind of uptrend of these kind of other decks that were kind of just a step below to now. I think this is one of the first times I've seen specialist decks like Prism and Acilio in the double digits consistently in a long time. Usually you find that those decks, while good, are usually played by more specialist pilots. But now we're getting almost 40 combined of the two, including as well in a similar sense Dash.io, which I think also kind of fills a similar role in that respect. In that it's like most of the time people find that you don't get enough juice worth the squeeze in a long event, but clearly these players think nowadays that's not necessarily the case, which is good to see.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, more of the same really. And like even the lower rep decks, like you've got Huntsman there at 8 people playing that deck. That's so sick. Like, you know, the decks that are the top, we can all agree there's probably 3 or 4 that are a step ahead of the others. But if you know, like you said, if you know your deck, if you're a specialist, if you know how to play your matchups, there's never been a better time to be one of those sort of heroes, I think.
Yeah, I want to like step in and highlight that. Like we saw, there's the one of Betsy there that converted to debut. Well, they finished 14th
yeah.
the event.
Yeah.
14th. And
Crazy.
for a deck that was probably considered in the bottom 3 of any hero in CC, when I think there's nearly 30 heroes in CC right now. Be playing that deck and then taking that to 14th 300 players, like clearly shows that you had an attack on the map. You know what you were doing. You know, they were on stream. There were one win. I think they had a winning in if they had won that round on stream for the top 8, which is just no one would have predicted that at the, you know, coming off this PNR. So good to see. Just a quick like look at the top 8. We saw 3 barriers converting, so clearly Mario's still at the forefront of people mind of what is good. Juxtaposed to Liam's comments last week, Syndra, 2 of them converting, still apparently not as dead as people are saying.
And then we've looked at Syndra getting thrown in the bin. But now, joke's on me for even suggesting that a deck as consistently mediocre as going free go again is going to be bad. I mean, like, jokes aside, I do think that like the changes, while they seem like very large and in a vacuum, I think after people have actually started to play, they realize that it's much of the same for the deck. I mean, it still, you know, kind of does the same thing, and of course, wrong of me to assume that would mean it would be any less playable. Not to say that it's, you know, where it was, but it's nice that it's still like in the meta. It means that people that have bought these cards don't feel disenfranchised, which is something that is generally, you know, quite important in a game like this. So it's nice that they're still, you know, converting, especially 2 in the top 8 as well, means that like as far as it goes, it's not just like a one person's god run into the top 8 or anything like that either.
Yeah, much more about the specialist that you said. Also, like Sam Sutherland, obviously first there, or out Swiss, and he's kind of a fan and aficionado.
Goat.
Yeah, for as long as the game has been out, really.
Yeah.
So to see him doing well, obviously, like, screams that thing about knowing your match. Yeah, get you far in this meta. We saw Florian actually taking down the event, which kind of echoes some of the things you said about Florian kind of coming back out of the woodworks now with everything coming down a bit. Florian's got the space to be, and clearly he beat 2 very strong Arachne players in Nova-chan and Mada. So clearly knew that matchup quite well. And you know, before the bans was considered by Syndra as maybe actually favoured at this point. Once what they were
for sure
doing in the matchup, and with the additions of the I'm forgetting the name of it, the anti-D.
Attire. Authority of Attire.
Yeah. I think we should move on to the actual UK events, which is what most people want.
I think before that, I would say that we should even talk about the week 2 conversions of the RTN, or unless you wanted to do that.
We can do it at the start if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's particularly relevant because I think it kind of shows a general juxtaposition between what you'd expect and what you see in the general global sense, and actually what you'll see from us, which I think is entertaining in my opinion. But I think kind of to mirror what the calling kind of showed is that especially Florian and Verdance are kind of the headliners for this week, which kind of makes a lot of sense when you consider there's like a downtrend in Gravy, a lot of people moving towards these kind of like, you know, more fatiguey block slop kind of decks, like the Betsy that you mentioned previously in the calling. That was one of, you know, a fatigue deck, and then we've seen We've heard whispers of this like fatigue Pleiades deck that people have been winning or topping Battle Hardens with. I don't think any have won, but they've been topping a few of them. And I think as we continue with this meta, I expect to see more of that kind of ilk coming around. Especially like, for example, the Huntsman that we saw in the play conversion for Akihabara as well. Apart from that, I think everything was generally much of the same. Although there's like some notable wins on the one side that are quite interesting, such as Phi got one.
Sir Bolton, Breaker of Dawn.
Now, I mean, like, God knows how they got there, but if there was a 4-person RTN somewhere and someone rocked up with their Bolton Blitz deck and they tried to add an extra card to make 60, then good for them. But there's this Rhinar deck as well, which is interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, I wonder who had won on that Rhinar deck.
Couldn't think of them personally. No idea.
Maybe we'll find out.
Well, we're quite close to 2, I think. But
oh, maybe. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Before we move on, anyway, any comments on the meta breakdown, James?
No, I think Liam's waffled on long enough. I think, we're very different.
I do.
Brits, but no, it's all good. I think the meta's obviously, as we all know, as we've been saying, it's wider than it's been for a very long time. And I think the BNR, we've got a lot to be thankful for. That was a great BNR, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the first event of the week was there was a 27-player event in Birmingham. It was capped out. It was supposed to be capped at 32, but as I alluded to earlier, there was the day before a lot of snow in Birmingham. Worried that it was going to get snowed off. Our local player Ty was giving us hourly updates at this point in the Discord, saying whether it was going to run or not, and as it did go ahead, luckily, and we only lost 5 players to kind of weather and stuff. Which
all things considered, that's incredible, especially
it was
Birmingham of all places.
It was funny to drive in, and it was slowly just getting more. I had a lovely attempt to park in a car park, and then got stuck, and then had to just put it in reverse and wait for it to roll out of the car park, which was very funny. And then slipped up on the way to the event. But as Liam mentioned, I was judging.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It's like usually you punt in game, so it's nice for you to have to get out of the way prior to the event. So.
Right. Anyway, onto the meta. Kind of like what we've been mentioning. 6 Mario, 3 Kasai, 3 KO. I think not too unexpected there. But we've got 3 Excelsior, so like you're saying, probably some specialists, would you expect?
I don't know, because it's like, I find a lot of people are picking up Excelsior for the first time, or like, for the first time for a rated event. I say rated, in the sense of like an actual event that's like maybe relevant for people. And I think like we're seeing a few people kind of like getting their feet wet in that respect for it, because it's a strong deck, and it does a very strong thing, and it does a strong thing that's very proactive, and for a lot of decks, unstoppable eventually if they hit it. So I think it's a good deck to bring if you just kind of want to be like, I need to spike this RTN, and by God, am I going to do it in a good fashion? So makes sense.
I think there's a lot to be said as well. I think for Syndra being hit as hard as she was, obviously we know she did okay, but her being hit as hard as she was as an aggro deck, it's opened the space. So you've got people flooding to KO, you've got people flooding to Excelsior. Like there's sort of different sides of aggro, if you like. Dio again will be featured a lot in this, I imagine, as people try and figure out what that best aggro deck is. Like we've not had the best fatigue deck get crippled by something, do you know what I mean? Which is why we've got a bunch of different sort of aggro decks trying to work out who's the top dog, which is an exciting part of the meta, I think.
Especially on that point, KO I think will make a very prevalent showing here as the next deck that people are like, well, this is easy to play with, and all I have to do is vomit my hand on, and hopefully it's the dice roll well and I kill you. So I think that's probably at least in my opinion, probably the most prevalent deck that we're likely to see in the UK, at least in these last couple of weeks. Unsure if that will transition as we go forward, and the players, especially kind of maybe the newer players, or the players that are less attuned to the picking the meta and picking their moments or their decks, they might slowly get swept by the tides of the calling results and the like. And maybe we'll see more Syndras going now that people think it's good again in that respect.
Right, should we get James to do some guessing?
Absolutely. It's guess o'clock.
So these were the players that got to the top 8. A couple of local legends, I think, as I mentioned earlier, Ty, who helps run the scene, I think, at Birmingham 4th there on Avalda.
The Valder as well, yeah, absolute child behavior.
Some other notable names was Josh Keys on Mario there. He recently also came second at Fanboy 3 Progress Yokohama. So
you can see that. I posted some of those videos on YouTube eons ago. You should be able to find them online if you were interested in looking at like kind of how he likes to play Mario. If you're interested at all.
Yeah, he's very different than the Kashi Jacob Clements list of Aga centric. He likes his stealth cards, and he does take out the mantle in his. So
yeah, I think he was also. I don't know if he was playing it here, but he was Fanboy Progress. He was playing the common huntsman glaive, the like non-clave. It was just because he was like, I'm just gonna. I can't afford the clave, so I just have this one, and I just flick it, so I don't care.
Yeah, there's a great backstory to this. Like, just to not take too much time, but like he didn't tell us that he was going to the Fanboy event. Posted a picture of a gold foil, and then said, "Oh, I only had one clave because I didn't have the other one." And we were just like, "What?" It was just all this information all at once. So we were just like, "Oh, okay, so you." And I was like, "Okay." Anyway, some of the matchups here we look at. We've got Syndra KO. Would you had much experience of that one, James? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, a few times now on the brute side, obviously. I've got to go with KO, especially after the bans. Full disclaimer, I obviously have no idea how this event went because I didn't think to ask you before.
No, that's the whole
point.
Yeah,
we're
going to make you look silly or look great.
All right, that's it. I'm going to go KO because I think, you can.
I think that's an honourable decision. Totally then we go down to the Mega Rept Balder Prism.
Such a classic Flesh and Blood matchup, right? I'm going to presume Prism because she can do aura things into Guardians, and that's pretty good. But obviously, if they've only got Herald aggro in their list, that's much worse. But I'm going to say that they Makic packed some auras and took that one from Valda. And then I'm going to say Mario took it from Ira. It's not a match I've got a huge amount of experience with at all. I can just imagine Mario's pretty good right now. That's it. That's my logic. And again, I'll go with Mario because Dan. We can't go against Dan.
Oh yeah, big up Dan Quillette.
Yeah, Mario Dio seems pretty like fatigable, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Have a look. Okay, you had three for 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Robbie didn't see. I think he saw one Blood Rush, or maybe saw none. He had a very
can be rough
game. Yeah,
that can be a problem with the lesser brutes, as we know.
Yeah. The Blood Rush babies.
So you've got a Mario Mirror and you've got Syndra Prism.
So I'm going to go for Mario, obviously. In the Mario Mirror, I think Dan didn't get it. Dan didn't get it because otherwise I would have seen that. I think, unless I'm a terrible friend, which is also equally possible. So I'm going to go Josh, and I've gone in reverse order, but I'm going to say Prism again. I'm going to go with Prism.
So Josh did win. But the Syndra did beat Prism. Unbelievable.
That sounds rare, right? Is that rare?
Yeah. So
it entirely depends on how many poppers they play, right? Like I think
sure.
So he was on 3 poppers. 4 poppers, I believe.
It's a very respectable
But
amount.
actually, he
Okay.
didn't see any of them.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, so it was
Just be
it's a
better.
very random game. Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
close. A bit of aggro, a bit of unfortunate timing with some segments. Magic. Where he's very happy to qualify for nationals. Yeah, I think he hasn't been playing games so much as.
Yeah, it's a name I've not seen for a while. I used to be a Manascrew local with him back in the day, so shout out to him. Like, well done on that. And unlucky, that sounds like a bizarre game, but yeah, I'm sure.
I
we'll
think
speak
all
more about
day
that
he
at some
was
point.
saying he was too old to be playing Prism anymore. Too complicated. So
He needs to go back to Dory then. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got Josh and Dan in the finals.
I'm gonna go Mario again because I think Syndra's just worse than Mario, and that is like I'm just gonna play my gut here.
Yeah. Josh won it.
go.
It was a really close game actually. Both of them kind of trading a lot of life. Yeah, the disruption wasn't too much from Josh, so Daniel was able to hands all the time. The gold foil he opened was Null Room Boots, so quite a good one, I think.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Hit.
I was just I need to say this because I can't leave this opportunity on the table, but unfortunately for Dan, he wasn't able to curry enough favor to win. So, yeah.
Oh, that was a bad one. Anyway, moving on. Right.
Oh dear.
Oh yes, Fanboy 3. I know this one. Yeah.
This one was your event, so do you want to talk us through it?
It was. Yeah, absolutely. So usually I run these as apparently someone let me judge for this game sometimes, but this time I let our local Cody judge because he was looking to get his like judge chops, and this will be his first, or this was his first big event. We got him to do a skirmish before, but I was like, oh, that'll be okay for him, and then it turns out it was going to be 37 players, so it's not the quite a big daunting one for him. Luckily I was there to help him, make sure he was comfortable and everything, so he had no problems. He did really well actually, so big shout out to Cody there. He did amazing with the whole event. It was so smooth. But yeah, I think the story of this event is that there were 4 Fang, and I was one of those. The reason I chose Fang was because, like I said previously, I'm trying to play a different deck every week or every RTN I can, and I thought that Fang would be a good choice for the meta that I was expecting, which would be an amount of Earth. There's always prisms that show up around the north, as we have people like Matt Weeman, who are like prolific prism players, and there's also a decent amount of warriors around. Which I just didn't expect to be also Fangs, but here we are. Yeah, like I said, KOs again, 4 KOs, like the top of the meta being, KO, Mario, Dio, Auxilio. We're seeing them consistently showing up in the higher numbers. 3 Prism quite a lot, and 2 Gravy actually has been quite a lot, which is funny to say. But yeah, also shout outs to Harrison. I believe it was 2023 Nats or 2022 Nats top 8 when he with the Katsu and notable Pummelgate scenario. Yes. But he's always repping Bolton. He always comes to these events and reps Bolton. I believe in one of our previous PQs, it was a Rhino Bolton final with him, with the Rhino just taking him down. So that was an absolute banger of a top 8
I did have to check that it was actually Bolton. When I was doing the breakdown, I was like, I haven't had to put a Bolton on any of these sheets yet. So.
Oh no, he loves Bolton, and actually he started this event 3-0, and then he unfortunately ended the event 3-3. So he was actually quite close to top 8ing himself again, but like, variance didn't hit him on the positive side this time.
We look at the top 8.
Absolutely.
Well, two of the KOs are converting, so clearly, yeah, KO is doing well. But I think the notable thing here is 3 Acilio converting.
All 3 Acilio converted, which is really shows the power and volatility of the deck. And on a good day, you're just gonna absolutely breeze through.
Right, James, over to you.
Okay, So starting at the top, KO, Acilio. I'm gonna go KO because I can't vote against Brute anyway, but also obviously Layla's. I know Layla, and I think yeah, KO is a pretty good match into Acilio because of all the non-blocks and stuff. So we'll go there. KO into Prism, same again. I'm gonna go Brute. Prism. It's a bit harder on KO because a lot of your cards are 5s, not 6s, obviously, but it still should be a good matchup that you want to see. Paul, I think Paul made top 4. This is again proving that I'm a terrible friend. So I'm going to say Paul.
Yaps enough that you probably, I would.
It's just all the way up the list,
point,
you know.
I think it's over the head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was in the Mind Palace at this point, perfecting my deck. So yeah, I'm going to say Paul made top 4 because I believe in him and I'm a good friend.
I mean, yeah, notoriously Gravy is
yeah, you'd expect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna presume that Acilio beats Fang. I've not seen someone play Fang since like Hunted first release. I'm gonna be
historically it is one of the bad matches for Fang.
I'd expect so because you guys take ages to turn online.
You just have to absolutely try and throttle them and hope that they don't combo. And if because
you have no is a card that exists.
Of course, yes, they can pop all your fealty. Yeah.
If I see Acilio also playing Scour, I'm just walking out of the room at that point.
Right. So
cool.
So again, 3 out of 4. Somehow, Matt's showing his proliferance on.
I need to mention this because Fanboy 3, I was also there recording it, so it'll all be uploaded onto this YouTube channel at some point. Ideally, it's already been uploaded, but it's possible that it gets uploaded around the same time as this report. But unfortunately, I didn't get to record this game. But it was an absolute banger. Matt, I believe, stabilized on about 3 or 1, and he did then his normal Prism bullshittery. But I think the Dave's scab skin rolls were not sufficient. I don't think he got above 1. I think he may have also gotten a 1 at some point. So I think he unfortunately got on the bad side of variance with there and just got snowballed out by the Prism. Yeah, that can definitely happen. I think I borrowed a Prism deck for 1 armory, and by the end of it I was just like, I need to go to bed. Like the stress of like, it felt like every matchup you go to like 2 or 3 life and then suddenly you become like some sort of unstoppable god. So I can envision that. Yeah, exactly. It was too much to me. I was like, no. It is a true protagonist deck where you're like there to the point of like inevitable collapse, and then like something goes over or they miss something, and then you just snowball the game, and then you're looking at them with like 12 angels on the board, and they're like, how did I lose this game? And you're
10 cards in your hand, like
yeah.
Well, Prism KO again. Go KO again.
Surely it can't happen twice. I'm gonna say Layla takes that. And I think Paul didn't get past the top 4. I don't know.
I will note actually, this is important, but this was the one that we recorded, the Acilio Fang matchup. So it was we got Paul against Fraser here, but it was a fun game to watch.
I'll have to check it out because like I say, I can't remember the last time I saw a Fang, so it'd be cool to see it.
Jacob, Lila.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, Paul's going to be very angry.
No, Paul, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Paul. I doubted you, Paul. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay. But I'm going to go Layla because I don't think he won this.
Yeah, she's already beaten one Acilio.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd be a really bad friend. Okay, good.
She did take it down.
We're crossing out all these bad friend marks here. It's just
every friend we go down the list, and you're like, no longer my friend. No longer my friend.
Yeah, it's a long list, guys. Now my palms are sweating, and it's not. It turns out it's not about guessing right. It's about like breaking friendships. That's what this is about.
Yeah, it's great to see Lila doing well.
Oh, she wins every event that she comes to for Fanboy. Might as well just give her the first place prize when she comes around nowadays.
Fab's power couple, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
As soon as
she overshadows Rob consistently.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, as soon
at
as you
this
see
point,
Cat
it's
and
yeah,
as soon as you see the Cat and name, you're just like, well, it's probably safe bet, isn't it?
yeah.
And the gold foil was Edge of Autumn.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah,
The
the first time
new
I think we've seen that.
The new pull
Yeah.
of Edge of Autumn, which great sage gold foil. So hopefully some
It's
people
really good.
picking those up.
And we also the judge pack was Nourishing Emptiness, which I think is the best hit in the set, which is very nice.
We don't talk about judge packs, Liam, because I opened my judge pack.
Well, the event.
We're not going to talk about what I got. I might put it on the screen if the viewers want to see it, but it was not good. And I've seen all the people in the UK, all the judges. They've been opening good stuff. I think there's been 3 Nourishing Emptinesses.
Absolute clangers.
And meanwhile, me, not so good. Took my sad sorry bum across the ice home in my car, and
I mean, if anyone really cares about how well I did, I bubbled and came 10th, which is a classic for me. So
I was going to mention that you came 10th, and another friend of our show, Scott Howling Minds.
Howling Minds, shout out Scotty Minds, absolutely.
Which is a real shame because that man does not get enough time to play the game. Too busy casting.
Yeah.
Right, on to a big London event, as they always are. 31 players in Badmoon, kind of echoing the same thing again. 5 Mario, but 4 Prism. So again, these Prism specialists clearly coming out of the woodworks. Good enough. But we've also got some notable 2-ofs here. Puffin and Vincent.
Puffin. London seems to be a Puffin playground. I say Puffin playground. I mean, I believe there was a progress where there was 2 in the finals before. And now I'm hoping that it's the same 2 Puffins, but they're just running it back, hoping to get an RTN under their belt as well as a ProQuest. But see how they do. Yeah,
notably no Gravy, but again, a smattering of one-offs, but different one-offs. We've got Victor, Riptide, Minor, so look. Okay, top 8. We got some notable names here. In first, the Swiss, we've got Mr. Giorgio himself, Francesco.
Captain Frankie, absolutely.
Yeah. Clearly bothered to make it out of Cambridge to go down to London to play. I think he's been finding less and less time from work to play the game, which is. And also in second, so first and second both KO. Jack Warren, who also last week. So clearly still striving, even though he's qualified for Nats, to play some more events and
absolutely fiending.
Yeah. But we also got 2 Verdances converting here, which is different. But
yeah, I think Earth Heroes, we've not really seen it. I think this is the first Florian we've seen in the top 8 as well.
Yeah. So clearly feeding the more global narrative that Earth is doing very well. So kind of think that, but also Katsu again, another top 8 for Katsu. Is this deck clearly? They clearly know something we don't.
Well, if we were looking at just the UK results, you would suggest that Katsu is infinitely better than Syndra just by top 8 alone. So, clearly.
Right. Give us some guesses, James.
Okay, it's an easy one to start with, isn't it? We'll go KO because can't vote against Brute, as we know. I think KO Verdance. It's one of those ones I think is probably slightly Verdance favoured, but I've seen lots of people say different things, and I think it's probably slightly KO favoured, but I don't know. I'm just going to go with Francesco. He's a great player, and he knows that hero really well as well. The second one down, Katsu, bro, what's going on?
He's top 8, man. What do you mean?
He's crazy. I'm going to say Verdance because Katsu is good when you don't block him, I believe. I don't know. It's been a few years now. Jack Warren, another great player. I can see that being quite annoying if Jarl is like full fatigue, but I can also see you just click the Scabskins button and go brr. So I'm going to go Jack on that one again. And Florian should probably beat Mario. At least it used to feel like that when people were first picking up the deck and I was on Florian. It felt really good, but obviously he's lost D-Reacts and the deck probably looks completely different now to when
Yeah, I think it's
was
still
experimenting.
considered to be Florian flavored.
Yeah.
They've kind of fell on. They've got a bit aggressive pack. A deck that's gonna put you online by banishing your own cards is kind of good.
Mhm.
Wise,
That's
isn't it?
pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, we'll go Florian there.
Wow, the first 4 for 4, James. Well done.
Didn't peak too early. That's good.
And now we've got 2 KOs against 2 Earth Heroes.
Wow, next, please. Yeah, 2 KOs.
KO final. Okay, bang it out. Good.
Yeah, mirror.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Perfect. Now,
it's because Brute's just the best class.
which KO is better?
Historically, very accurate. Yes.
2-time calling winner Francesco Giorgio
Mm.
or Jack Warren, local hero.
I don't know if I don't know.
Think
if
Brute versus Hydrogen Brute.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got this in my head, but I think Jack Warren has got at least a couple of top 8s or top 4s this season. I think. I don't know why. I feel like that's true on KO. I don't know if that means would he just, if he won on RTM, would he still go to the next one? So I'm gonna go Francesco, just like got this one and is like back in Cambridge now.
No, Jack took it. So he took down Francesco. Jack has just only been playing KO since he started playing the game. He started back in Leamington, and he's KO. And it's really seen this season. He's not gone negative at any event that he's got.
Master.
That's crazy. It's taken him that long to find a better Brute. Yeah. My God.
Something worth noting: both Jack Warren and Francesco are currently leading in terms of like most total wins in the RTN season for the UK. So clearly, both absolutely banging them out in terms of results.
Yeah, I clearly don't have the right mentality because, like, I win one, and I'm gone. I'm done for the season. But Jack's out here slaying.
And the gold foil was Time Skippers, so another Time Skippers Open.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that Jack came second in was also a Time Skipper. So if he'd won them both, he would have got 2 Time Skippers, which would have been
skipping so much time.
Yeah, lots of skipping. Anyway, right. There's a lot to talk and unpack here. Bristol, which is why we've got Mr. James Adams on the show today. 57 players. I think this might. We haven't obviously had all the events yet, but this might be the biggest event in the UK this year.
Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah.
Bristol. I mean, I'm probably just going to leave up to you, James, to talk about the scene there, but it's been apparently growing insanely.
Yeah. I mean, I moved to Bristol like 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, and there was like 3 people, and now we're getting 57 player RTNs. Like
clearly the conduit for all the good things.
Oh, it's all me. It's obviously me. But, no, but like the scene, just especially in the last year, is just like it's crazy, man. Like we get like 25, 30 player armories most weeks. Like it's just like the last time we had under 20 players. Sorry, I can't even remember. Yeah, I would go out on a limb and say it's the capital in the UK for Fab. Shout out to Bristol Bad Beats, and shout out to Lane as well for judging, because she was on her own and there's 57 players in the room. Yeah, so it's a long old day for her. But yeah, it was a great event, and shout out to Sam Parry as well. It's a good friend of mine, another Bristol Bad Beater. He is doing a charity run for WWF, the Wildlife Foundation, not the wrestling, and he did a raffle, and included in the raffle his gold foil Crucible of Aether Weave.
Icelander players in Siege.
It was like £5 a pop as well. So someone got an absolute bargain that day.
Oh, absolutely!
It's just a great vibe. Yeah, really good vibe.
Oh, the charity event was in the RTN.
So no, he's going to do a charity run at some point. He decides to raffle off loads of stuff.
That's super cool. Yeah.
The end, like he had like the little thing at the start, the QR code and stuff. At the end of Westy, nice. That's super cool. Out loads of prizes. So yeah, it was
big shout out. Yeah, absolutely.
I've got to talk about the thing in the room though. The top rated deck. Obviously, we've got Marion Syndra, but obviously the meta staple that is Pallades, of course. Of course, we got 5 Pallades at the event. What the hell is going on here, James? Come on.
I
George
don't know,
Roger.
brother. Yeah, his influence. Clearly. No, there's definitely a couple. So we've got obviously, we've got Mark is he's probably the reason the Bristol scene is so big. He's great, and he is absolutely in love with Pallades at the minute. He's playing. We've got Kit and Mikkel. We've got loads of people that are trying to build fatigue versions, like more tempo versions, aggro version. It's crazy. Like they're not even like the same sort of. They're not all just doing the same thing as well. So you've got to know who you're going into when you see one. But yeah, there's a definite. I think LSS are obviously pushing her as like the new Aurora in terms of this new starter product. But actually, what we've seen is a lot of like diehard Fab players have just like really gone for that push, and like all of her cold foils and stuff. Like it's a really pretty deck, isn't it? So
yeah,
absolutely. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's a
hoping
mixture
to
of
top
things.
4 to add some cards to their own deck. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just before we move on, one cheeky nut boy at the bottom there. We love to see that.
Wish it was me.
Yeah.
I wish it was
well,
me.
we did talk it off you finally.
You did,
and,
you did.
As we see this top 8 bracket, we can see why we talked you off of it. You want to talk us through some of the games here and talk about the bracket as a whole, really? How the day went and how it felt?
Yeah, I mean, I just kept attacking and it just kept working. It was
My opponents weren't blocking with their cards; they were putting to the side. I don't really know why. They just put them down and they didn't want to use them.
Just so the audience know, like you were on a Metax build of Rhinar, not the Eugene style.
No, yeah. Shout out to Sigma and Carlos and like the guys in the Brute Discord, because this is like from the generic like purple Brute Discord. They brewed this deck. Someone took it to, I think it was Melbourne RTN, and it was like a 50-60 player RTN and won that RTN. So I thought, okay, so it's a real deck.
Well, this is a 50-60 player RTN as well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, there you go. So it's got legs clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I played 10 times maybe before the event this deck, and I was like, right, I'm just going to sleeve it and go. I can only make this. Yeah, well, I can only make this one RTN, and I thought, let's just have some fun and see what happens. And like I say, I just kept sort of intimidating people, and it kept working. So yeah, very happy with that. The deck is very real. I'd recommend it.
I think like on your side of the bracket, obviously, we see that you are on Rhinar, but there's also Ollie Cornish there on Huntsman as well. But then on the other side of the bracket, first of Swiss Valda. So clearly Bristol, bring out all these beloved heroes,
heavy hitters.
Yeah. It was funny actually. The bracket was split, so it was a bunch of team kills. I believe this is correct. A bunch of team kills of like on my side of the bracket it was a bunch of Bristol players, and on the other side of the bracket it was all a bunch of Cardiff players that had come up. So it was literally like team kill. Yeah, so I think the Valda players from Cardiff. I think, again, sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah, that deck was crazy. And the first time I played it, I was like, my weapon is meat axe, it's draw discard, so it literally turns on his hero ability and gives him a resource every turn. How am I going to possibly do this?
It does sound like a very bad matchup.
Yeah, it was.
Really all you have to do is read the hero ability, and you can.
I did take a second to like read it. When we were in the final, I was like, let me actually make sure I understand what's going on here, because I didn't really the first time. I think the first time we played at the end of Swiss, and he beat me quite decisively, and it was, I think he must have turned 0 or turn 1. It was very early. He got his ley lines down. It was like every time I did anything, he was just there to dominate with an on hit, and it just felt impossible. I was like, well, fine, whatever. We take those. I feel like I was lucky to even be where I was at that point, anyway. And then the second time, I just played tempo and more mid rangey, and he just didn't get any of his auras out. So I think he maybe low rolled a bit in the final, to be fair. And my final play was a Bare Fangs with Go Again, drew discard, drew into a Reckless Swing, and then he went to 2 at that exact moment. So I didn't discard the Reckless Swing. It ended up in my hand from the top of the deck. And then he went to 2, and I was like, okay, with the Go Again, I will Arsenal this card. Pass to you. But yeah, it was a crazy deck. So if you can find that deck, take a look at it because it was just hoovering people up.
And you opened a Gold Foil Summit, heard?
I did, yeah, Summit. So if you know anyone that's in the market for a Summit, then hit me up.
I can't believe you didn't wait to open it here for us all.
I know.
Wow.
I just didn't think, to be honest. I was too
okay.
excited.
We'll forgive you. We'll forgive you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize as well. I looked earlier, and they don't actually. I don't think they even do a Gold Foil Meat Axe, which I'm really sad about now.
Well,
But that deck
petition
is
to
crazy.
LSS for next
We'll have to
season. Can we have
rectify that,
can we have a Gold Foil?
Please, guys.
Because I'm
Please,
sure
guys.
it's also good in Age. So, right. So we're on to Sunday. Living Realms. 41 players
Another
as well.
biggie.
Again, another biggie. And another 6 Marios. So clearly, Mario and KO are the staples of the I think. A smattering of one-ofs. I think the meta is much the same across the UK. Sometimes we get this north-south divide in the UK, where some heroes are favoured in the north, some are favoured in the south. But I think most of the meta breakdowns have been very similar. Mario and KO being really.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely look at them as like the default for the player base, I think. Especially in this case, because I think we haven't really had many decks that exceed 4 in these metas. It's a lot of like 4 usually is the maximum. So when you see 6, it's usually an indication of like a general trend towards like the popular choice. I think 6 to 4, which isn't quite 7, but is generally I think where you'd look to see like, these are the decks you should expect to see consistently, at least right now. Notably, I was here as well. I saw what James was doing and thought that seemed fun, and hasn't played any games at all, so I decided to rock up with about 2 hours of sleep. Started building the deck at about 4:30 in the morning, and thought, well, why not bring some Zug to my life? It seemed quite fun, and I don't think I've ever played with Meat X before, so I thought I'd enjoy myself.
So on to the top 8. We saw some interesting ones converting here. We've got Thomas Davies on Huntsman and Liam Holden, Fatigue Master himself on Lyeth. Was it a Fatigue Lyeth deck that he was on today?
Yep. It wouldn't be any other way with Liam, really. I mean, I don't think you could see him, or you could pry a Fatigue deck out of his hands, and if you do, there's usually a good reason for it. So yeah.
Huntsman, that sounds like kind of a bad deck that's milling itself one card a turn to attack for 5.
So I've heard, but yeah, I mean, I somehow ended up top 8ing as well, and sure, it was a day of all time to put it concisely, really. So yeah, I think if you, I mean, I played, I would say probably the both sides of the coin of Flesh and Blood. Truly, I played some very aggro decks, played a bunch of DOs and KOs, and I go into this top 8. I was playing into these fatigue decks, so I played into the Huntsman first. I played them in the Swiss and lost to them. Very close. I say very close. I didn't get to see your Resolver Blood Rush, which is not very fair. I've heard that card is quite good, and you're meant to usually win the game when you play it. So that was usually that was why I lost. And then in the top 8, I did see Blood Rush Bellow. In fact, I saw on turn 1, and it did lots of damage. And from there, they basically had no stake in the game, so I just absolutely crushed them. Shout out to Tom. Actually, they are an incredible opponent because I rolled so well on Scalpskins against them. I rolled 1-1 the whole game. I rolled 1-3. So I rolled 1 action point, 1 0 action point, and I rolled about 8 or 9 times into them total in both games. And every other time was a 2 or a 3. And he was celebrating with me every time I would roll a 6. He'd go jackpot. So it was nice to have someone that was enjoying themselves while they were getting absolutely throttled. But yeah, great time. A great opponent, lovely to play, and gracious both in victory and defeat, as I experienced both sides with him that day. And then into Liam, in a similar sense, I rolled ridiculously well. I think I had a turn, the most notable turn in the game was where I did a Blood Rush with a Scab's roll of 2 off of a rum, so I had 3 action points. And then I just went a bit crazy with everything there. My sash cracked after I cracked my sash as well. I think I did. He started on 40, and because this was the first play for me properly in the game, and he ended on 17. So he he took a lot of damage, and I didn't roll a 1 the whole game. I rolled 1-1, but it was at a point where it basically didn't matter. So yeah, I rolled incredibly hot in this game as well. Unfortunately, all of the luck had to go somewhere, and I lost to Seb in the finals. In a basically the opposite of the rest of my day, where everything went wrong in one way or another. So I'm happy to end up in the finals. Sad to not get to the end, but if there was someone to lose to, Seb was a great person to lose to. He's a lovely guy. Shoutouts to Seb.
Yeah. I see him at quite a lot of the events that I used to live
100%,
further up north. He used to judge a lot of events. So
he did, yeah. He does sometimes still, but clearly he's still got that dog in him as well. So
yeah. For the last event in the UK, P9, great store in London. Been have a lot. I think they have 2 stores now. We had 43 players here. Lots of Kasai, I can see, and again KO, Mario, but also Fang. So clearly people picking up Fang again.
Love a good warrior, love a good Fang. No reason for it. But yeah, shout outs to Adam Ray, who helped us with a lot of the data for this one in particular. Makes sense.
So, I don't think either of you know the results of this one.
Yeah. I know. I have no idea.
We'll get you both guessing again. Oh, look again. Who's number 1 King of Swiss? Francesco Giorgio himself.
No,
guy's hair, isn't he?
He's come to this, to London, and he's just come and absolutely like run roughshed with the London folk. Thank you. But I realize that I do actually know a decent amount about this because I've had to compile a bunch of data about this event. So I'll leave it to James to pick the brute every time. So.
Yeah. You never invite me back. So brute, different type of brute. So we'll go Francesco because guy's insane. RKO versus Acilio is interesting.
Definitely a different. It's not KO as much, is it? It's not as much.
No. Yeah, exactly. You still get Scowling, which is obviously lovely, but I can't imagine it's hugely favoured for RKO. Although they start on lower life, right? So you do get the booze straight away.
Yep.
I'm going to go against type. I'm going to say Finley got it just because I definitely. I don't know. Let's go Acilio. Let's say Acilio got there. And Alex Kitsu will go with for Dio in the Dio mirror. And we'll say Mario got there as well. Just because.
I think that's a good guess.
Yeah.
On the other results. Well, Francesco was correct and Acilio was correct. Yeah. It beat the RKO.
Shouldn't get rewarded for going against them.
Alex unfortunately didn't win the Dio. He didn't have choice of side, so maybe that mattered a lot. And also Kyle showing that clearly all the other Dios don't know what they're doing in the match. And that one is. So we got another Dio mirror for you, and we've got Francesco against another Acilio.
I'm gonna go for Francesco again because KO should be good into Acilio. That's about as much as I think, and we'll go James this time because I went against him last time and I feel bad. And maybe he's just come off of a Dio mirror, so he clearly knows what he's doing in there.
Well, 0 for 2 though. Finley clearly also saying the opposite and saying he knows how to play the KO matchup and winning that, and then Carl winning the Dio mirror. If I'm not mistaken, both these players are members of Cup of TCG, I think. The Brighton lot. So it's great to see them doing well.
Yeah.
Going up to London to do that. And unfortunately, I don't know if Brighton had an RTN this. Saloon get.
Hmm.
But Dio Acilio, as Liam mentioned earlier in the show, not a
Not
great
my
matchup
favourite
for
thing.
Acilio, is it?
Yeah. So Acilio can always do Acilio things like any
Mhm.
wizard and just whiz it out. But yeah, you don't really get a great chance to do that. So
Sure.
Well, Finley did
He
do
did
the
it.
wizard thing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
As behest to everyone's opinions, he won anyway. Yeah, it was
He's
great
good
to
at
see
that,
us.
this Finley guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
good at just saying no. I
Not
don't
bad.
agree.
Yeah. It's a bit of a silly Billy.
Yeah, a bit of a silly Billy.
Watch this.
Yeah, it's nice to see an Acilio win. Really, like we say, it's
Yeah.
been this deck that's doing wonders around different things, but then always seems to fall out of favor. Doesn't make it top 8, or just is in the top 8 to a kind of unfavored match. Well, I've got a little bonus round for you because both of you will not know any of the results.
Oh yeah, I've not seen this
Ooh.
actually.
So
Belfast. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a new store in Belfast called Robin's Cafe. It was capped at 24 players, so that is low, but I have from good news from our Irish correspondent, Dylan Thompson.
Shout outs to Dylan. Yeah.
Dylan the Goat got this information to me so speedily.
I'm sure he did. I can only guess what that meant. That's such a Dylan thing.
So it was capped at 24 players because it was their first ever Fab event that they'd ran. I think they may have run some other stuff, but like this was their first, so they were worried that they might not sell out and and it sold out to the cap. They clearly gonna keep running Fab, and it's great to see.
That's great.
And it's interesting to see maybe a slightly different meta. Obviously, we've got the slightly Irish inspired meta here, and
for Mario, yes, indeed. Oh, yes. Sorry, you mean Ira, of course. Yeah, I'm surprised about the Ira actually. Maybe it's just potential for like some newer players in the Belfast area that are trying to pick up a deck for the first time and they saw the Ira deck, or alternatively, it's some people that don't know what we know, or they just like playing Ira. It could have been.
I think
any of those
the Ira deck is definitely one of the better armory decks.
Yeah, 100%.
Be interesting to have heard how many were edge and how much were patches.
Yeah, I mean, this is just great to see in general. Shoutouts to Ireland in general, my other home. So I go there when I can. Dublin, especially, where I imagine a few of these people have probably travelled from. Just surprisingly easy to do to Belfast. All things considered, I think it's just a direct train. So that's probably why we saw Dylan there, and probably why he was so excited to highlight the event.
Well, we'll go on to the top 8. Oh, look there.
Oh
First
God,
house for Dylan
that's
Thompson.
crazy.
That's great. But also some newer names from the Irish scene that I've never seen before, but also some other staples as well. Jamie McCabe down there in third.
Yep.
Give him a few different callings and stuff, and
I feel like I've seen Conor McLaughlin as well as a name. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to give it to you both now. You can both guess because you don't know.
Yeah. I'll let you guess the first two and I'll guess the other two, Jim.
Okay, well, I've got to go with
myself
Dylan,
an easy
I
one.
suppose. Yeah, I'll go with Dylan. Yeah, just by virtue of what you've all said. And we'll go Jose or Jose, sorry. The Acilio, I think. Let's do some Acilio.
Yeah. I personally like that matchup from the Acilio side, so I could definitely see that. I have the hard choice if I had to pick which name I like more between Burns and Burns.
You can't even do the alpha. You can't do the Scott Mine special and pick alphabetical because they both start with C.
It's and A afterwards, so it's even worse. Carl Boyle is an excellent name, but I think actually, considering Cameron Hindies has come second instead, I'm going to give it to them just by vary of both having more letters in their name and also being the lower number. And then I guess the Acilio Dio matchup is kind of cursed for Acilio. It's not very good. It's probably one of his worst matchups. So I would also give that to the Dio.
Well, you both got both right. So
what can I say?
So we've got Dylan against Jose, and we've got Cameron against Jamie. about these matches.
I feel like unless Dylan is super magnanimous, then I've got the easier bracket here, and I'm going to go Dylan again based on that. Yeah, I can see it going kind of either way. Again, I'm not familiar with this matchup, but yeah, we'll go with Dylan.
I mean, historically, Verdance is quite favoured into Dio, so I would probably give it to the Verdance as well, especially because the Verdance gets to choose the play or draw.
Yep.
So, which is quite lucky for them. Surprising to me, which is quite notable, is that I don't know how common it is actually to see second and third play in the top four. Actually, I think that's normal. Actually, so I'm just speaking like an idiot now. But yeah, I would say that Verdance is probably the winner here.
Well, Jamie clearly showing how much of a Dio master he is. And made it to the final, beating Verdance. Yeah, it's generally a tough matchup. I think when I was playing Verdance a lot, I think terrible matchup, especially if you actually decide you can start at Castle or D. That gets some. And yeah, Mario, Dylan being Nacilio, clearly wanted to give me these results for.
Not unlike Dylan at all. So he's very humble normally. So.
Dylan Jamie, how are we feeling about this one? We had one Mario Dio match in the top 8 earlier.
Yeah. I mean, Dylan never fails. I did think at the start of this when I saw the Dios, I was like, I think maybe a Dio is going to take this. But again, I mean, yeah, I'm just going to stick with Dylan because he's done me okay so far.
Well, I think I'm regretting giving you the top of the bracket.
As a shock to no one based on our conversation, yeah, Dylan did win, which is as a shock to no one, really. I think Dylan is 3-time Irish national champion. So he kind of
rules that. Shock when he doesn't win, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, stalwart in the Irish community and always
100%. Yeah. Well, it's these kind of quality, strong players that really pushes up a community and lets them strive to get somewhere. So, if there's anything, it's a net positive on the community to have them have a player as good as Dylan. Unfortunately, as much as it pains me to glaze him as much as I am now, it's nice to see that, and I'm hoping that that as well as the inclusion of events in the Belfast area, it means that like the Irish community can really big up their game and have a huge 2026.
The gold foil, he apparently did sell it sealed to someone, but then they immediately opened it at the pub.
Wow,
which was also another Edge of Autumn. So
nice,
another good poll
it's a great weekend. And there's 4 Iras. Well, one of them can have it, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure I might be picking up one of those soon for my Sage deck. Anyway, on to the next week's events. So we've only got 4 in the UK next week. We've got
so much less for us to cover.
Yeah, so much less. So I'm sure the episode will be so much less yapping. Anyway, we've got Spellbound Games in London, great store. Obviously, we've got they're running some events close to the world premiere. I think it's a law book Sage event, which is they've been supporting the London scene immensely. I think they run 3 armory, the different formats for Fab. So great, the great event that's we hope to cover next week. We've got EH Gaming in York, much the same for the north.
Shout out to Ross, absolute mogul, Sultan of the North. I will be there, so hopefully I'll have some good news to give you. Maybe a win.
Yeah, and then we've got some kind of a double header, but they're kind of far away from each other in Scotland. The big Scotland scene up there. We've got Highlander Gaming and Legends Guild in Glasgow as well. So we'll hopefully get some coverage from them from friend Reynard. Did Liam, do you want to just quickly say something about the XP leaderboard?
Yeah, 100%. So I had the pleasure of going through all of the results of the last 2 weeks and painstakingly putting them into an Excel spreadsheet so that everyone could see how well they're doing. So far, I have accumulated everything. We have about 35 winners, which is super cool. Actually, I think it's 36 because we have to include the previous winner, Aaron Boyan, national champion. Someone that we haven't mentioned here is someone that people may know, Jacob Clement. He topped an RTN in Japan while he was there for Akihabara. So he decided to do a painstaking journey to a RTN on a Monday because that's just how he is. And I believe he actually took it down.
He won. He won. He beat Shoma Yamamura in the finals.
Yeah, he was telling everyone that all the Japanese players there were just happy that Shoma had some competition because he keeps winning all of the RTNs in their area. So it's nice to have someone else usurp him. But yeah, I mean, as you can see now, the qualified players that we have there. There's also a running tally of the XP leaderboard, so hopefully people can use that to get an idea of where they are. I'm not going to say exactly that's how it is because there is the issue of tiebreakers when it comes to wins, so do take everything with a grain of salt, especially with human error, because I have manually put everything in to start. I am looking to up my Excel game and actually do it normally. I have also added a something called a clout board, which will have the total wins of everything, the amount of tops everyone has, the amount of top fours, the amount of event wins as well. For anyone that wants to go the extra mile and actually win multiple events, they can have themselves immortalized in this silly little spreadsheet. So, but yeah, I was happy to do it for the community. I have it tagged in the RTN section of the Discord, so hopefully people could find it there.
We'll put a link in the comments to this.
Oh yeah, absolutely as well. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Description. Yeah, I think that it's just going to be really beneficial to everyone to see kind of.
Yeah, and anytime.
To the thank yous, really. Thank you, Liam, always for coming on, and thank you, James, for joining us with your smashing Rhinar win. And now you go into retirement until the next event, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sage Tough Nut next.
Sage Tough Nut.
Oh, what about CC Tough Nut? That's where I'm going.
Well, that's true.
The real
that's
true.
A
big shout out to all the judges in particular. I think for the weekend, notable ones are two at P9 Games in London. They had two judges to help them there, which is very smart choice. It's very nice of P9 to support judges and let multiple there, so they can help the workload. And also for Big Boss himself, Judge Cole for the LR judging, because he had to very hastily make his way to the event as there was not a judge at the event at the start. We had the owner, Mr. Fabio himself, to run the event in his absence, but then we had Cole from about round 3 onwards, so he had to a rather I guess hectic day to start, I would say, coming in and not having any idea. Also, a notable shout out to this Benjamin Westmore guy. Not heard him, but apparently he judged Birmingham. Very nice of him. Heard he might have taken a bit of a tumble on his way. Hope it didn't affect his judging in any way, but I'm sure he was fine. Everyone there would say he probably had a great job. So.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in this week, and I hope to be back next week with some results. And Ian,
bye bye. Are you saying this isn't sexy?
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of sexy. Now you
look
said
at
it.
Look at it. No, not kind of sexy. He is. He is.
He's the definition of sexy.
Yeah.